So in this lesson, we're going to learn a little bit about this concept called slope. When dealing with linear equations or graphed lines, slope is just a way to indicate direction. We don't have a protractor, we can't measure in degrees, but we do have the advantage that these graphs are on graph paper, a coordinate system. So we needed to come up with a way to indicate which direction do certain lines travel. Okay, so imagine this line. Imagine I pinned it down right here. Okay, so if this were the case, this line could go a lot of different directions as this animation shows. And so we need a way to show that direction, whether it's pointing downwards like it is now, maybe straight down, or pointing up to the right. That slope is just a way to assign a number to that direction. All right, so it turns out that what people came up with is based a lot on this animation right here. That if you take a look here, we've got a slope along this line. And what they've done here is they've shown how no matter where you go on that line, that there's this sort of hopscotch pattern. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And so we assign that a slope of 2 over 1 as a fraction. And so basically what slope is this. Is to find slope, you look along your line and you basically, like I said, you hopscotch. In fact, since this thing keeps moving, I'm just going to draw this in. If you take a look here, what's going on is to get from one point to the next and to leapfrog from one to the next, we would have to go up 2 spaces and over 1. Up 2 spaces over 1. Up 2 spaces over 1. And so that's what this is up here. That slope is just a ratio, is to look at the change in the vertical, which in this case is 2, and compare it to the change in the horizontal, which in this case is to the right, 1. And so that's how they get this slope of 2 over 1. Now, sometimes you'll see it like this. They'll call it the change in y. This symbol right here, by the way, is the delta symbol. This is sometimes also used to replace the word change. You won't see it too much in our textbook, but it was a good time to mention it. So the change in y is the change in the vertical, because if you think about it, what controls vertical movement on a graph is the y coordinates. The change in the horizontal, we can also call it the change in x, because the x coordinate controls movement across, because this is the x-axis here, this is the y-axis. X-axis goes horizontally, y-axis goes vertically. Okay, and the most common way you'll see it is like this. This is a lot easier to remember. That slope is a ratio where we compare the rise to the run. In other words, how far do we need to rise and then run to get to the next point? Rise up or down, run across. Rise up or down, run across. And so that's how we come up with this idea of slope.